everyone, it's Sherry from Turquoise Dreaming. How's everyone doing today? Welcome to my channel and thank you for joining me. Hope you're having a good day. I am having a pretty good day, besides the fact that it's freezing cold outside and it sleeted this morning in my neck of North Carolina. So yeah, just staying inside and crafting, staying put today. But I did finish this little journal today, and this is the one that started out where I was doing, first of all, it's my design team project for ShabbyDabbyDooDah. You know, I'm gonna have this beautiful kit and digital kit listed below. And so it also started out with my Roxy Creations weekly challenge. It was week number 3 where we created a cover, a journal cover out of a, Rachel used an Amazon box. I used a little box that I had here that I had bought, put away, thinking that one day I would like to make a journal out of it because I like the size of it, and I thought it would just make a cute little journal. And it was a Sharpie pen box, so I had already put it away when I cut off the top flaps, the side, panel, and the bottom flaps, and just put it away like that, thinking one day I will make a journal out of this. So that day came, and so I finished it now. Here's what it looks like from the outside. So cute. And I'm so glad that I put that little box away because, it was a lot of fun creating a journal from a box. And it makes a nice little hardcover, So let me just take this is a little like lace seam binding type closure I have here just tied around, and I have a little key on it as a kind of like a charm, but it is a little key that it's not a charm. It's actually a real key that I had picked up a few of these little keys at, not just like this, but different little keys that I had picked up at an antique store, and I love the shape of this one. And you'll see throughout the journal where I used some silver charms and things, and that went so well with this blue colored journal. So besides the fact that I used a box and this beautiful kit, I was in the mood for a blue. So I wanted to make a blue journal, so that's why I used this kit from Tina, ShabbyDabbyDooDah. And so you'll see I added to the cover. This is a piece from the digital kit here. And she has several like tickets and little like labels like this, and this one had the word dream, and I thought that was perfect for the cover, so I put that right there. And then I added 2 little pieces of embroidery here. This was a piece of embroidery that was given to me, so and it was like just a little piece, you know what I mean, like it wasn't a whole big thing or anything, it was just a little piece of it, embroidery. So I ended up cutting it up, and I cut out this little flower, and I cut out this little, like, it's a little paisley piece here. Let me show you up close so you can see it, but right there. So otherwise on the cover I did sew it across all the way around. I sewed here after I put this ribbon, like a fabric ribbon right here as a trim. On the spine I used a piece of a vintage tablecloth. It has 2 signatures that are sewn in with wax cord. Here's the back, and again you can see the zigzag stitching around, and here's another piece of that fabric ribbon as trim there. So let's just get started with our flip through. So on the inside here I used that vintage tablecloth throughout, you'll see. So one place I used it was right here in the front where I overlapped a little square to make a triangle. So this is doubled up. I kind of did that because I wanted to make this a little stronger than just one layer of like lace, because it's those lace tablecloths are very lacy. So I have 2 layers there to make that little pocket. And in here I used another piece of that embroidery right here. This is a piece from the kit, but I backed it with, I think most of my pieces are backed with file folder, or I also had a like fly leaf or end page from a book, a vintage book, and it was had such a nice patina on it that I saved it, and then I ended up using it to back some of these pieces also. So that's what all my pieces are backed with, something like that. And here's a piece of that embroidery, another piece. I didn't want to throw any of that away or anything, waste it, so I used a piece right there, and another piece of that vintage tablecloth. You will see I have used them as toppers on several of the little tags and things. So that is in here. Well, before I put that back, let me show you up here. I backed one of the labels, or this is kind of like almost like a picture frame, but you can write in the middle. There's lines, so it's like a label too. And I backed it with some light blue cardstock, and then behind here is actually kind of like almost like a secret tuck spot, because if you didn't know it was there, you wouldn't know it was there. And so here's a little envelope that I had tucked in there, and inside I have a little piece of, this is a piece of a game piece that I had, a scrap, and so it could be written on the back, little journaling room there. It can be like the secret journaling room or spot, and so that just fits right in back in that envelope. And then right in back of this cardstock here is where I'm going to leave that there so someone can see that there is a tuck spot. It's almost like a belly band because it goes all the way through. It's not a pocket, it goes all the way through there. So, and then this goes back in here. See how it's kind of like a secret? You don't even really realize it's there. So here's a little tuck spot here. This is whenever you see pages like this, you're going to know they're from the kit. These beautiful prints from Tina's. I picked this out because I really liked it, this digital kit, and then as I was working with it, I just liked it more and more and more. It's so beautiful. But here's a little journaling card from the kit. You can see I did distress around all the edges, front and back of the journaling cards. Now this is my blue dyed paper. I don't know if I showed it to you yet, but here's a whole piece here, just to show you. I have been, well, it's attached to me apparently. I had been dyeing some papers with, I called them my tie-dye papers, and they're dyed with, you know, tie-dye is fabric dye. So I have been dyeing, you know, I had a kit. Carol, my friend Carol, encouraged me to, by buying some of my tie-dye paper, encouraged me to put some in my shop. So I did. And then I wanted to experiment with some more fabric colors, fabric dye colors. And then so the next color I experimented with was this blue. And here's a whole piece of it here. And I actually used on some of it, just to see how it would come out, some of my plastic lace tablecloths. No, they're placemats. So you put them over, you know, what you're dyeing and see if you can get a pattern. So here's a little bit of that on here. You can see it a little bit on here. I haven't mastered that, so I don't put that in my shop. The ones I use my you know, lace placemats on, but I do use them myself. I think I really like the pattern and the different you know, shades that it creates, so I use them. But anyway, you'll see some of that in here. But just to say, we were on this page, so I was showing you how it looks in the journal. It just went so perfect with these blues. So I think I'm going to need to keep making that, even if it's just, I have some in my shop, but even if it's just for myself, I really liked having that option of having these solid blue, beautifully, really shaded. You know, each piece, when you dye papers, each piece really comes out different. There's no two the same, no two shadings, and especially with the fabric dye, it seems like some come out light, some come out darker. So anyway, I just wanted to tell you how well they blended in with this beautiful kit. Here is a piece. There's lots of little pieces in this kit to use to decorate. So like here's one with the birdhouse and the birds and a little bow. That was all together in one piece of, you know, in the kit, so I could just cut that out and put it right there as a decoration. Now here's two little pieces from the kit that I layered. So it's a beautiful little piece that almost looks like a vintage sheet or wallpaper possibly. Then this little ticket I put on top of that. And then also it's like a little mini belly band here. If you can see, it goes all the way through, so that's why I'm calling it a belly band, even though it doesn't go across the page in any way. The fact that it goes all the way through, I kind of think of that as the belly band, you know, type of thing. So this is a little piece from the kit that says notes on it. So it's basically, I made it into a little mini journaling card to fit into that tuck spot right there. And I also used some of my blue paper that I dyed with blue, it's blue food coloring. And that's from a composition book. Those are composition book pages that I just dyed with blue food coloring. So since they were blue, I wanted to use some of those in here. And then here's another couple of pieces that I layered here from the kit. Just a beautiful little flowery background with a little label that says memories right there. So those can be little journaling prompts or just decorations on pages. So here on this one I put some of the seam binding that I used here on, you know, the tie closure. And so, and then a little, well, you can see this little piece was, these are two pieces from the kit. That this is a frame, it looked like a picture frame, and then I put the word notes in the middle there to act as a label. So here's that seam binding sewn on. And then we have, I used some of my, and quite a few spots in here, some of the little, they call them paper lace, kind of like embellishments from In Love Arts. And they also look like doilies. So since the white went so well with this light blue color, I found myself using a lot of these, and they look so beautiful, you know, glued down onto any color really, because you can see the color through here. I thought that looked so beautiful. So that is there. And on this side I used a piece of just this little strip, like a scrap, to decorate this fold out here, you can see. And then this is some of the lacy blue dyed paper. If you can see, hopefully that is showing up in the camera, but that is some of the lacy part right there that I was able to use as a page in this journal. And so here's another couple of bits here, and a couple of bits here, a little bird and a label where you can write something, and then you have this pretty blue grid or graph paper. Here's a little pocket here. So I made a pocket on this side of the graph paper where I wanted it to be thick enough, because graph paper sometimes is a little thin. This one isn't super thin or anything, but I still wanted my pocket to be sturdy. So when I was cutting the paper, I folded it up twice. Instead of just folding once up to make this pocket, I folded it twice. So it's double layer here. So it's a nice, it made for a nice thick pocket. And then in the pocket I had this little journaling card from the kit, and I've got some vintage tablecloth there as an accent there on the top, and it's folded over the back too. And so that is in there. And then here I have a little, this is, I think this was a, no, this is a belly band. Okay, so this is another one I'm calling a belly band. I backed it with some of my blue fabric dyed paper. This is a little piece from the kit here, and another little envelope where it has a piece of, did I put a piece of paper in here? Yes. And this is a little, this is a little scrap from my ledger, my vintage ledger that I used in some of my last kits. Now it's crispy. Actually, I'll go ahead and pull it apart here because it's going to be 3 pieces. I was going to say it's crispy, and it is crispy, but it's not crispy where you can't glue it down. It would look beautiful glued down on one of these pages, either like that or like that to make a writing spot, or you can use them in a collage. I already used some of these in a collage, and this old like cursive writing in this color and patina on these little pieces just come out beautiful. So there you go. Those will be in this envelope. Little pieces of, and they're very old. They're trying to think of what the date was on those. I think it was like 1922 on those ledger pages. So, you know, that's pretty much antique, right? It's 1920, it's 2021 right now, so pretty much antique. So the next page is from the kit here. Beautiful, beautiful blue colors. And then we have a little tuck spot here with a journaling card. And this is the middle of the first signature. Let me take out both the journaling cards here and see how pretty those are. And then on the little strings here, I have some charms. This one is like a little, like a little branch or a twig almost, and it has some blue gems in it. And I'm going to try to show you up close. It's almost like little leaves and a little gem there, a little blue gem. Hopefully that's focusing. And then the other one is a little leaf a little silver leaf. They're so small, it's hard to hold it in my hand and not cover it up with my fingers, but there you go. I think you can probably see that. So that was the middle there. And I did do quite a bit of embellishing here, so I want to make sure I show you everything. This is another one of those beautiful lace doilies from In Love Arts. Look how beautiful that shows through with the blue showing through those different shapes there. And then a little piece from the kit. This is another, you know, the other side of that graph paper pocket where I doubled the, you know, the pocket paper. And then here's a little drawing card here. This one is backed with some blue cardstock. And that just came out so cute. And then here's another one of the paper lace doilies from In Love Arts. Here I used to decorate, and a little butterfly, a little blue butterfly with a pearl. And then here is another tuck spot, little drilling card, and all these little pieces you see on the top are from that vintage lace tablecloth. This is a flip up. Here, this is some of my, so you can see the lace, my lace dyeing there on the blue. This is the fabric dyed paper, and here's a piece of the vintage tablecloth with the little white butterfly. A strip here from the kit, a little cutoff on both sides of that. This is a strip. This is this a tuck spot? Oh no, this is a fold out. So this is a fold out here, and on the little fold over piece I put a piece from the tablecloth. And then here's that other side of that one doily that we saw in the front half. And then here's a little fold out that I just went to town decorating on this one. I wanted to use one of these gates that was in the kit, and so this was a good spot because this page was wide enough for it. And I backed it with one of my blue fabric dyed pieces so that, you know, it would stand out on this digital kit printed page. And then over here, this is a fold out, but I also put a little belly band over here. So I've got like a double belly band here. So behind the first part, which is this blue cardstock here, is a little piece that I did not back with anything because I thought I wanted to put thin pieces here so I didn't bulk up this little fold out too much. And I also thought someone would like to use these to glue down somewhere, you know what I mean? Instead of having the bulk of the, you know, file folder or, you know, cardstock on the back, you can, you know, glue this just papery bit down easier somewhere. So that is the back of the first belly band. And then the second belly band is this strip right here of paper from the kit, where I have another little piece tucked in there that can be glued down, just a papery piece. So that is back there. And then I also topped it with a beautiful little birdhouse here with a bird from the digital kit right here. So isn't that pretty? I love it. So pretty. This, I love the blues in here. So this is just some pretty back. This is you know, the back of that one. So that was so pretty from the kit. And then here's a pretty label I put on this lined page. Here's another little pretty bit. And I was going to show you this just in case you've never used a digital kit and you're worried about fussy cutting. I did fussy cut out most of the pieces in here, but this one I wanted to just try it like this, and I just kind of cut closely, but not right next to everything, you know what I mean? So it's close. I'm going to call it loose fussy cutting. I've called it that before. And then I distressed around the outside, so you kind of cover up that white outside. In fact, I think I put a little bit of distressing all over the whole thing and a lot around the outside. But that's just a way to fussy cut without getting right up into every little nook and cranny. So just wanted to show you that. And there's some of that lace seam binding right there. Here's a little tuck spot here with, we've got, oh, I just tucked this in. I thought somebody might like this to, you know, use somewhere, like you could use it right here and then put another piece from the kit there. I just tucked little pieces in here that you'd be able to use too with the journaling and with the journal. And then this is just a little piece from the kit, a little journaling card right there. And that's the end of the first signature. So here you see I put a pretty piece of the kit to begin each signature, and there's a piece of the seam binding, the lacy seam binding there. Another one of the In Love Arts, I'm going to call them doilies. even though they call them paper lace, something like that, lace paper. They just look like doilies to me. So this is the, and I won't say it anymore, but you know the solid blue is my fabric dyed paper. Here's a little label from the kit that says memories. I'm just holding it up, the journal up, because I know it's small and I want to make sure you're able to see everything. But here's a little piece from the kit with underneath, I layered it with a piece from the tablecloth there. I just think that tablecloth just added so much to, you know, it was so fun using that in here. Added so much, you know, like a special touch to everything. So yeah, we'll just flip. Oh, did I mention the bookmark? I just had it right here. This is the bookmark that was, you know, that I have sewn into the spine, and so you can put this anywhere you want, you know, if you want to actually use it as a little bookmark there to mark where you're journaling or something, a special spot, or just maybe you have a, you know, something you want to mark, you know, for all time. You say this is the most special page in here, and you want to have the bookmark there. So this is the next page is a little flip out page, and then I put a little bird here. This bird had a bow with him, so pretty, and all the blues just went so well with. You can see it almost looked like it was part of the kit. You know, sometimes when I added a little piece from the kit, it's like, oh, it looks like it was a part of the kit, you know, like I printed it out, but it was actually, you know, my lined paper there. So this was another piece from that embroidery that was sitting here, and I put it right there. And I just layered it with a piece from the tablecloth to add some trim there. I have fold out here. This is a little flip up with another piece of the embroidery and a word label from the kit. It says bliss, and a little drilling card here. You can see the tablecloth on the top there. So cute. That's the backed with this page is the grid. And so here is this is a little flip up, flip down. And you can see on here, this is the word lovely from the kit. This is another like paisley piece from that embroidery that I've been using throughout. And this is a double little kind of tuck spot here, like behind this flip up, flip down. There's a drilling card and there's a tuck spot there. And then this is a pocket, you know, one of the grid paper pockets. And it's the double layer there. And then this is a little drilling card that's in that pocket. So you've got a kind of a double pocket there. And then this is the center of this signature where I made pockets, and I just flipped the little corners down as kind of a decorative action there. And then this is the drilling card, and I didn't mention it, but all of the little lace pieces that I put on here, they're all zigzag stitched on. They're all sewn on. They're not just glued on. They are sewn on. So I don't think I mentioned that yet. But yeah, I wanted to make sure those were, because it's lace, I didn't want to just glue it on. I felt like I actually glued it on so I could get it in place, and then I sewed it on so that I could make it nice and sturdy. Because it is lace, and I wanted to make sure, you know, it's hard to just glue lace sometimes. It doesn't, you don't feel like it's getting glued down really well sometimes. So on these strings I have another little leaf there, and then on this one a little baby dragonfly. So cute. So okay, so the next page is a pocket, one of the double pockets, and you know, as far as doubled paper there to make for strength, a little drilling card here. And this one is a little cute little thing. Let's see, what did I do here? I have to remember. I was doing so many different little things in here. I have to remember what I did. So, okay, so this is a little flip up. Oh, I had this scrap. See this blue fabric dyed paper? I had it. I was like, okay, what can I do with this little scrap? So I just folded it in half, put it here, glued it down. So it became a flip up at that point. And then I said, well, I have to decorate this. So it's a little belly band here on top of it. It's 2 layers. It's got blue cardstock and a little scrap from the kit. So that was a double layer there. And then I didn't glue it all the way down, so it could be a little mini belly band there. And then I added a little blue butterfly here with a pearl So that was fun. I just had fun with this, can you tell? using all my little bits in kind of creative ways, right? So here's a dream label here. A little piece scrap from the kit I used to decorate this little flip out. Can you see my lace on here? I hope you can, because it's really pretty. A little blue blue bow with a bird there. And down here we have a bow with it's actually a ticket that says love. Little blue bow there. Flip out. And here we've got another birdhouse. And here's some of my lace here. You can really see it on this one. And then there's a blue bow there. One of the In Love Arts doilies. And then here is, well, you can see it from this side, but it's sewn onto this side, the blue lace seam binding. We're at the back cover here, where actually I left this open so something could be tucked in. I didn't tuck anything in there, but you could tuck something in there. See how that kind of stays in there? I just tucked everything right here into this, what is this? Left some, oh, this is stuff I wanted to show you. Yeah, I just tucked everything into this, and again, I doubled over the lace pocket here. Here's a little one of the little windows from the kit I put up there, but there's 3 little journaling cards here. This one I made a little kind of ruffly. That's what I was going for anyway, a little ruffly. I tried to make a little ruffly topper there, and then 2 little pieces those are all sewn on. And so that is the journal, the blue journal that I wanted to make, a blue journal for January. And then what I have, I'm working on the goodie bag, but so far I have just pulled out a piece of my fabric dyed, paper. And I mean fabric dye is when I say fabric dyed. And then my coffee dye paper, and then these are 2 scraps I had here. I said, well, I'll just send those along, and a little piece of the vintage tablecloth to use on some tags or something, or maybe you want to add it to a page, or this could actually even make, be an extra pocket. There's enough to make a pocket there. So, I mean, not there, but you know what I mean, across a page. You see that? It's enough to make a pocket. So I'm going to be adding more things. I like to get my goodie bags all ready. When I make a journal, I go ahead and get my goodie bag ready so that when someone orders, it's ready to go, you know what I mean? So there's a little view. I didn't really show you that. Isn't that pretty? I haven't even looked at it like that. All the blue. It's really, really, if you like blue, you will love this journal because it is really pretty blues. So thanks for watching today. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Happy crafting.